Hey guys, so today we're going to be discussing chapter 33.3. So in this chapter, we're talking about organs that are specialized for sequential stages of food processing, which form the mammalian digestive system. In mammals, there is a number of accessory glands which support food processing by secreting digestive juices through the ducts into the alimentary canal. In the previous section, you should have learned about the alimentary canal, but if not, it's the digestive tract in which food passes from the mouth to the anus. So there's three main accessory glands which consist of the pancreas, liver, and the gallbladder. And to further understand the functions of the accessory glands, you must understand the process of food traveling through the canal. Okay, so in this slide, this is a picture of the digestive system, or the main parts in the digestive system. As the video goes on, you will need to know these terms, and you will later learn them and further understand their functions. The first step of food processing starts with your mouth, and then it ends with your anus, which is the last part of the alimentary canal. Okay, so once your food is swallowed, it takes about 5 to 10 seconds to make it to your esophagus and into your stomach, where it takes from 2 to 6 hours in your stomach to digest. For the final part of digestion and nutrient absorption, which occurs in your small intestine over a period of 5 to 6 hours. And from 12 to 24 hours, your food travels through your large intestine, which later is processed into feces. When you take a bite with your mouth or your oral cavity, this is the start of food processing. Not only does your food break down physically, but as the surface area increases, the food is now easily broken down chemically. During this time, your oral cavity triggers the release of saliva by the salivary glands, which is basically saliva. Saliva is a mixture of material that has many functions. One major component of saliva is mucus, which is a lubricant that is secreted during digestion for easier swallowing. Not only that, but it protects your gums from abrasions and it catalyzes taste and smell. It contains buffers which prevent tooth decay by neutralizing acid and antimicrobial agents that protect against bacteria in food. Scientists have been perplexed for years by the fact that saliva contains a large amount of amylase. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down starch and glycogen. Chemical digestion occurs in the small intestine where amylase is present. Our tongue has a big role in food processing. The tongue acts as an aid in the digestive process by which ingesting and selecting which foods should be processed. We will further discuss taste in the next section. The tongue's movement is used to manipulate and reconstruct the food with the help of saliva into the form of a ball called bolus. The tongue is also used to push food to the back of the oral cavity and into the throat. The food is then received by the pharynx, which is the throat region that leads to the two pathways, the esophagus and the trachea. The esophagus is a muscular tube that connects to the stomach. The trachea is your windpipe, so it leads to your lungs. Every time a person swallows, there is a flap of cartilage that covers the vocal cords. If you're swallowing incorrectly, this can cause a blockage, which will result into choking, which can be fatal. The peristalsis happens within the esophagus. It uses alternating waves of contraction and relaxation to push food. Once the bolus reaches to the end of the sphincter, which is a ring-like valve of muscle, it then regulates the passage of ingested food into the stomach. Okay, so your stomach secretes components of digestive fluid, which are called gastric juices. Once your stomach does this and your food starts to process in your stomach, it then becomes chyme, which is basically the fluids mixing with the food. On this slide, I have inserted a video with the link that explains the processing of chemical digestion in the stomach and stomach dynamics.
As food reaches the stomach, an expandable muscular sac capable of holding from 2 to 4 liters of food and liquids, a number of things happen. Food is mechanically broken apart by the contracting, churning movements of the stomach's muscular walls. The chemical breakdown of food is initiated by the hormone gastrin, which stimulates the secretion of hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen from glands lining the walls of the stomach. Pepsinogen is an inactive form of the protein-digesting enzyme pepsin. Pepsin must be secreted in the inactive pepsinogen form in order to prevent it from digesting the cells that produce it. It is the highly acidic conditions in the stomach created by the release of hydrochloric acid proteins down into shorter amino acid chains called peptides. So the stomach itself isn't digested by hydrochloric acid and pepsin. Cells lining the stomach produce a very thick mucus that coats the stomach. However, the protection is not perfect, and cells lining the stomach must nonetheless be replaced every few days due to damage. The result of mechanical and chemical processes in the stomach is a thick acidic liquid called chyme, consisting of partially digested food and digestive secretions. Peristaltic waves, occurring at about 20-second intervals, propel the chyme toward the small intestine. A circular ring of muscle, called the pyloric sphincter, at the base of the stomach, allows only about a teaspoon of chyme to be released into the small intestine with each wave. Depending on the size of the meal, it takes 2 to 6 hours to empty the stomach into the small intestine.
The pancreas also produces numerous enzymes that include the proteases trypsin and chymotrypsin, which are inactive until it is relocated into the lumen of the duodenum. That's our challenges for digestion due to the fact that they are in the form of globules that can be broken down efficiently by digestion enzymes. That was it. Some of the major components of absorption in the small intestine are the villi, the hepatic portal vein, the chylomicrons, the lactum, and each of these play an important role. The villi is a finger-like projection of the inner surface of the small intestine. The hepatic portal vein is a large vessel that carries nutrient-rich blood from the small intestine to the liver, then to the heart. Chylomicrons are lipids that transport globule, which are composed of fats mixed with cholesterol and are coated with proteins. Lactum is a tiny lymph vessel extending into the core of an intestinal villus and serving as the destination for absorbed chylomicrons. The surface area of the small intestine is large due to the villi and the microvilli, which are exposed to the intestinal lumen. Okay, on this slide we'll be talking about the processing in the large intestine. The large intestine is where the alimentary canal is, which includes the colon, the cecum, and the rectum. The large intestine is T-shaped. One arm is 1.5 meters long and is called the colon, which leads to the rectum and the anus. The other arm leads to a pouch called the cecum. The cecum is important for fermenting ingested material. Humans have a small cecum compared to other mammals, and your appendix is a finger-like extension of the human to come, which plays a minor role in immunity. Feces is a waste of the digestive system that becomes increasingly solid as it moves along the colon by chrysalis. Feces are stored into the rectum until they can be eliminated through the anus. Bowel movement is controlled by two sphincters between the rectum and the anus.